Hi, I'm ISRAR'S and today our topic is inventory in supply chain management. And today we are going to touch base with the following terms like inventory management, supply chain management, and the last role and the importance of inventory management in supply chain management. What is inventory? Inventory is basically goods and the materials that a business holds for the ultimate goal of resale to their customer to make the or earn the profit. What is the definition of inventory? We can define inventory in three different ways. In a general sense, it means stock of goods available or held for sales in the ordinary course of business. And in a business sense, it includes raw material stored in warehouses, a work in process in the production, and finished good available for the sale. And in a academic sense, it means that stock of goods which have demand and supply in the market and can be early realized in cash. So these are like definition of inventory in three different perspectives. After defining the inventory, let's see that inventory is consist of what? It is inventories consist of raw materials required for production process, work in process, for example semi-finished goods, and then captive consumable goods, goods used by the manufacturer, that is like B2B, and then finished goods which are available for sale to their direct customers. After understanding about the inventory set, what is inventory is, so let's talk about the inventory management, that how we manage or control the inventory. Inventory management is simply a process of ordering, storing and using company's inventory to run the business smoothly. Basically, it is the management of raw material components and finished products, as well as the warehousing and processing such items. For the company with complex supply chains and manufacturing process, balancing the risk of inventory gluts and shortages is especially difficult. So the basic objective of inventory management is to achieve these balances effectively and efficiently uh, to manage the inventory. So to achieve these balances effectively and efficiently, objective of the inventory management. Let's now discuss or just touch base a little bit about the inventory management methods or techniques. There are some of the methods or techniques to manage the inventory. The first and the traditional and very old one is EOQ, is economic order quantity. What it is, simply it is the order quantity that minimize the total holding cost and the ordering cost. And the next one is the inventory analysis. This is called ABC analysis, grouping inventory into three different categories according to their value or according to their usage. And the last uh, is just in time, is called JIT, so only obtaining items when they are absolutely required or necessary at that particular time. After talking about the major inventory management tools or techniques, uh, we want to mention here the major inventory management KPIs, that what are the benchmarks, or what are the key performance indicator or indication which we have to achieve or which we have to do through inventory management. The first one is inventory turnover ratio. This is the most important KPI in a inventory management, that it is the number of the times inventory is sold and replaced in a time period, is calculated by dividing sales by the inventory. So for example, cost of inventory and the sale is the relation between that how many times we have turned around the inventory. The more we turn around the inventory, it is much better. The next one is inventory write-offs. These are the write-off mean taken off from our books. So inventory write-off represent the inventory that no longer has any value in the business. So this will tell us also about that how much money or how much inventory we lost. Then holding cost, of course, there is another indicator, a performance indicator, that how much money we spend to keep this inventory in our warehouse. Then the next one is the average inventory. It is the median value of the inventory over a defined time period, that throughout the whole year how much our average inventory are per day. So we will keep this, that and then we compare this with our sales, so we will figure out exactly what kind of we were over or we are under. The next one is average days to sell inventory. How long it takes a company to buy or create inventory and turn into the sale. So from buying to selling, how long it take. Shorter the cycle, better it is for the inventory management. The next our topic is inventory management and supply chain management. So after defining inventory management, let's discuss about the inventory in the supply chain. But before discussing role and the importance of inventory management and supply chain management, let's define the supply chain management. Supply chain management is the management of the flow of goods, including raw, finished, and the semi-finished inventory and the services, and includes all the processes that transform raw material into finished good or the final inventory. Managing inventory in a supply chain involves the active streamlining of a business supply side activities to maximize customers' value and gain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. So this was the definition of supply chain management. In this slide, if you see this picture, it will show you the flow of inventory in a supply chain. So it starts from the supplier has the raw materials or the components, then it comes transit to the manufacturing or the fabricator place. It is still raw material or in the work in process or finished goods. So these inventory is changing its shapes. So then after manufactured, it go to the distribution centers where they are in bulk packed goods, parts, and the finished goods. So these are become like finished good, and then after in retail it become packaged goods according to the requirement of retailers, and it's become the finished good. So inventory, this picture is, you can see the inventory in a supply chain at different levels of the supply chain: supplier, manufacturer, distribution, and the retailer. So inventory and supply chain, as we know, inventories are materials and supplies in a supply chain, either for sale or to provide inputs or supply to the product processes. So it could be changing into finished product or using in the other products. All businesses require inventories to satisfy the customer and run the business successfully. So objective of keeping the inventories to satisfy our customers and to run the business smoothly and successfully. Often inventory values are substantial part of the total assets, and inventories are very important because they are the major part or major assets of any business. Financially, on the balance sheet, inventories can represent form a major part of total assets, like I explained you. As the inventories are used, their value in the converted into cash, improving cash flow and return on investment. So better management of inventory is what is improving our cash flow and also improving our ROI, return on investment. There is also a cost of carrying inventory, which increases the operating cost and decreasing the profit. So these are the few of the things that we have to look when we are managing inventory into a sale in a supply chain management, because it's better management or worse management hurt our bottom line. If the product is lost, expire, or become unusable, overall economic profitability suffers. Good inventory management is essential to an efficient and responsive supply chain management. So this last thing is the essence of inventory's role or inventory's management in a supply chain management. That good inventory management is very essential and very important and very vital to for a responsive and a efficient supply chain management. After explaining the inventory in supply chain management, the role of the inventory in supply chain management is that it's considered to be the core component, like I explained in previous slide, that it is the core component of the supply chain, and it is where all areas of supply chain come together in tandem. So basically we are our supply chain management is based on our inventory management. For this reason, role of inventory management is very important in a supply chain management success. Now let's see inventory management in supply chain management. As a part of supply chain, inventory management includes several different aspects such as controlling and overseeing purchases from supplier to customers, maintaining the storage of the stock, controlling the amount of product for sale, and order fulfillment. So these are all functions of supply chain management, which those are related to inventory management. So there are three core steps of inventory management in supply chain management. Number one is the purchasing inventory, the purchase of the inventory, or the procurement of the inventory. So raw materials or the components are bought and delivered to the warehouse in this function. Then storing inventory. Inventory is stored until needed. Raw materials are moved to production facility to be made into finished goods and returned to the stock area until ready for the shipment. So these are all related to inventory management, but these are also part of supply chain management. Then profiting from inventory, the amount of product for sale is controlled. Finished goods are pulled to fulfill the orders. Products are shipped to the customers. So these are also again three different things we are doing when we are selling or making profit from the for our business. It is also from the inventory. So amount of the product for sale, the inventory, we have control inventory, then we have finished good and the pulling the order to fulfill the order and then ship to the customers. Okay, now let's discuss the benefit or the role of inventory management in the success of supply chain management. So how inventory management has importance in the success of supply chain management. So number one, it reduces shipment delays and other disruptions by providing critical insight visibility in the supply chain processes. Then it decreases inventory write-offs and lower inventory holding costs to enhance cost of supply chain processes. Then the next benefit is the prevents shortages through effective products requirement analysis in a supply chain management. So it due to exact effective product requirement analysis, which is the part of supply chain and inventory management, it is very beneficial to prevent the shortages. And then it increased the productivity by automation, data entry tasks, and eliminating human errors and improving the accuracy. Then improving the traceability to trace the product's accuracy in the accurately in different location. Optimize business operation including planning, resourcing, and the implementation. So these are the few of the benefits of better inventory management, which leads to the success of supply chain management. Lastly but not least is the role of inventory in the supply chain management. If you see from the picture, it's two objective of the supply chain management which is helped by the inventory management. One is the cost efficiency and another is the responsiveness or availability. So what does inventory roles play in the inventory management roles plays in the supply chain management is the improving matching of supply and demand, is synchronize supply and demand, then improved forecasting, then reduce material flow time, lead time or flow time, then reduce waiting time, reduce buffer inventory, and make the inventory in supply chain more effective and efficient. Then economies of scale, benefit from the buffer inventory, that supply demand variability. It meeting the supply and the demand variability, seasonal variability. Then it improve the cycle inventory, that is also reduce the safety inventory, and then improve the seasonal inventory. So these are the few parts. So as from our discussion, it is come to the light that inventory management is the major portion of a supply chain management. So if we want to make supply chain management a success, we have to have more and more emphasis on our inventory management. So in my opinion, basically supply chain management is management of the inventory from source till end customers. So before ending this presentation, I will ask you guys if you have any question. I hope you understand the role of inventory management in supply chain management. If you have any question, please let me know. Thank you for your time.